Thursday morning. Hello, good morning, and a very warm welcome. This is 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. DJ Abiam.
Ahonjo Farms. I listened to Kusua.
Yes, we had the back of Omawa on there as well.
I listened to them. I mean, the issues were the fact that the youth were not angry enough. The youth needed more discipline. The youth needed to serve more. I was just listening. Sometimes the best thing to do is to listen.
I agree.
So I was there.
Or you didn't think that we wanted to engage you because you're an old youth?
Yes. I mean, I don't fall within the UN definition of youth. Is it 18 to 35?
That's right.
So as a city, I'm an old youth.
You're an old youth,
but,
okay.
I mean, the youth, everything about the youth is of concern to all of us. So I was there in my capacity as a member of this team and somebody who loves issues of the youth.
Amazing stuff. We'll dissect that conversation some more as we progress in the show. Just to let you know, I definitely fall squarely in the youth category.
Yes.
Not for too much longer, but we're holding on firmly. Let's connect now with Felicity Ahafianywa. She's a chief forecaster with the Ghana Met. She'll let us know what to expect by way of weather this morning. Hello, good morning, Felicity. Hope you are well.
Good morning, Helen. Yes, I'm better today than yesterday. What about you guys in the studio?
We're doing fantastic. We still would love $1 million in our pockets, under our pillows. But in the absence of the $1 million, we're thriving and surviving. What should we expect by way of weather in the capital and beyond?
Yeah, thanks so much. The $1 million is on the way. Right, 31st December.
Hallelujah.
Yes, good morning to our dear viewers and listeners. For today, Thursday, the 24th of August, we expect it to be variably cloudy across the entire country this morning. We are expecting light rain or drizzle over the coastal strip, part of Greater Accra Central and Western region. It's going to be in patches. It's not every area that is likely to get it. Then we expect the sun to break through. We are having a weak rainstorm coming from Nigeria is currently about exiting Nigeria into Benin is becoming very, very weak, but we are anticipating it to reactivate. So in the course of the day, we'll be updating you with the afternoon and then the evening forecast. Aside that, we expect the water lake to have a variably cloudy conditions with temperatures around 31. Those of us over the coast, we expect temperatures around 28, 29. Those over the north, we expect temperatures between 30 and 34 degrees Celsius. The state of the sea is expected to be rough. We are expecting some moderate windy conditions. So the fisher folks need to be a bit careful on the sea. So for today, this is how we expect it to be. If the storm will reactivate, we'll definitely release a warning ahead of time. So they should stay tuned to us and then at 3 FM.
All right, Felicity, thank you so much for that update. And of course, we'll be looking out for subsequent ones to follow.
Thank you.
Again, that was Felicity Ahafia, your chief forecaster with the Ghana Met. A storm is brewing, so do stay locked into our socials. We'll give you an update on what to expect, but don't leave home without an umbrella this morning. I think you might just need it. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Very shortly, we'll get into the news review, but do buckle up, get comfortable. It's going to be a fantastic morning. So for your back pocket, star 439 hash. If you have an MTN line, pick it up right now. Dial star 439 hash. It'll cost you 5 CDs to play, 5 CDs. And you too could be walking away with some cold hard cash this morning. So do stay tuned. Let's kick things off, shall we, with the news review. We have a number of papers in front of us. We'll run through the headlines and then we'll take some details. The Daily Graphic this morning has this to say: WASSCE written papers begin with oral English exam for Ghana only. Some more exams coming up. Beg your pardon, haven't had my tea this morning. Super Delegates Conference, NPP aspirants justify inclusion of Saturday. We'll break that down as we progress in the news review. EU injects 120 million euros into West Africa exports, and 2023 Ghana Teacher Prize launched. I've also got the Business Finder this morning, and it has this to say on the front page: FDIs must be mutually beneficial. GIPC boss tells captains of industry, and will continue to keep our airports safe and offer pleasant travel experience. William?
On the front page of the Daily Guide this morning, 7 fight for 2 slots in Super Delegates Conference, and that's for the MPP. The explanation given by the Daily Guide for saying 7 instead of the 10 is this. The governing New Patriotic Party is holding its Super Delegates Conference on Saturday in what promises to be a fierce competition to prune down the number of aspirants from 10 to 5. But it already appears 3 of them have already scaled through the process, even before the first ballot is cast. So they are saying that Dr. Bawumia, Alan Martin, and Ken Ejipong are already there. So it is left for the 7 out of the 10 to contest for the 2. And according to a survey report in the Daily Guide this morning by Outcomes International Ghana and Center for Sustainable African Development Initiatives, a UK-based firm, the vice president is getting 72.6%, followed by Alan Martin 7.7%, and Ken Ejipong taking a distant third with 4.3%. Former General Secretary Kwabena Ejipong is 4th, and Dr. Owusu Afriye is 5th. So then it still cuts down to the 5. So automatically, this paper is saying this morning that according to the survey reports that they have, Dr. Bawumia is going to go. Alan Chromatin is going to go. Ken Ohene Japan is going to be there. Kwabena Japan is also going to be there. And Dr. Osu Efriye is also going to make it.
So these are the projections, William, of who they believe will be in the top 5 come Saturday.
Yes, but the definite ones are the top 3 that they have mentioned: Dr. Bawumia, Mr. Chromatin, and Kennedy Japan.
So Dr. Bawumia, obviously, with a lion's share of the votes projected.
That report, looking at what has happened over the year, in terms of all the surveys we've had, it's been so close, just 1%, 2%, plus or minus of both of them. So for you to just say, all of a sudden, that Dr. Bawumia is going to get 70-something% is very unrealistic.
Okay.
I don't even want to look at their figures or whatever method or whatever indexes they used, but it doesn't look real. 76%. What has gone on with what we've seen from the beginning of the year to date? I personally don't think is something that we should take that seriously. It's obvious it's between the two of them, man.
But the margin you think being projected here is not realistic.
It's not realistic.
Okay, well, some more for us then.
Still on the front page of the Daily Guide this morning, ECG sacks 11 top officials. We'll get into those details very soon. And Duka opens workshop for small-scale miners. I do not fear prison. That's according to James Chechi. NDC MPs, police agree on BOG protest. And on the back page of the Daily Guide, clubs chase Mason Greenwood. We'll get into the details shortly. Ghanaian Times this morning, 66 died, 24 injured in fire outbreaks in Greater Accra. That's according to the fire service. And Krasak students abandon classes in search of potable water. Refrain from illegalities and indiscipline. This is Deputy Minister of Interior cautioning immigration staff. 2 Nigerians busted for allegedly trafficking 11 victims into Ghana.
All right, Mr. Hughes, good morning to you.
Morning. Good to see you. Yesterday was a good one on the Spaces.
I agree.
It was
we had
a good one. Like William, I just had to listen.
No,
I just wanted to listen.
No,
I mean, sometimes, you want to listen. You want
your young aspiring biters, they were on my neck.
Well, I mean, they are young.
Yes.
Between in the definition of the UN, youth, I'm not within their category at all.
Oh, yes. We'll call you. We have old youth and we have intermediate youth.
But the point is
and then
that
we have youth.
I like the fact that they spoke their minds.
Okay.
And I like the fact that they didn't mince words at all. What I want to see is a lot more action.
Right.
A lot more action in terms of how are you expressing that anger. Go back to 1995 Kumi Preko demonstrations and go back to all the demonstrations before that. Nyahota Maklu says that they shook the foundations of the country, and for the first time, Jerry Rawlings, of all people, was scared. He was frightened that something was going to happen.
Right.
You don't get that these days. I mean, these days people will talk on social media. They will join the hashtags.
Digital activism, if you will.
But there's a time for you to come out onto the streets.
That's
because you're dealing with an old school leadership who understand that people have to be present in flesh and blood.
I think that's a good perspective that Johnny is giving. We're dealing with a different generation. So for those of us who are doing the activism online, well, let's speak the language that the oldies
so they think
understand.
that it's just somebody who's written a report of a couple of faceless people who are just saying what they want to say. Because during their time, they stepped out onto the street.
That's right.
The president of the day led a demonstration, stepped out onto the street and shook the administration. In fact, it was just, we had just come out of a military, system.
That's
we
right.
had gotten into democracy. That was the first term. He shook the foundations of the country with that demonstration. Today, it's a different ballgame altogether. I want to demonstrate. Police is giving you excuses. You can use this route. You can do that route. You can do this. You can do that. By the time the demonstration itself is properly positioned, people would have lost the steam and energy is gone. And I don't know if they do that deliberately, because all these conversations about public order act, and we see churches go on route march and they go on walk, keep fit and all of that. Does the police tell them that they cannot do? I mean, so sometimes I find it quite funny that they have such a posture. But again, it comes back to the youth. Would you rather stay on your phone so that who goes onto the street to fight for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm not asking for you to go and vandalize anything.
That's right.
I mean, if you listen to Bakavomawa and everybody else who spoke, you don't have to go and vandalize anything. You have to just be bodily present.
That's right.
In your red shirt, in your black shirt, whichever attire you are asked to wear, the white shirt, appear and then join so that the crowd also tells a certain story that you are all in this together. I've covered demonstrations in this country not so long ago where people who are gone past 70, 80 were part of the demonstration. And then I asked them, why are you part? I said, well, I am part of it because I'm looking at my grandchildren
That's
and my
right.
great-grandchildren, my children, and I think that, but should he be the one demonstrating?
When you have young, supple, energetic, vibrant youth who
go
the
out-
future belongs
go out
to.
there, move out of the movie houses, stop the hookup. Get on the streets and go and do. I mean, it was one of the things I didn't want to speak because if I had spoken, I would have spoken about hookup and movie houses and everybody else, and they would not have been happy with me.
The next space is we can narrow it down to
They
hookup
would-
culture and other things.
They would not have been happy with me. They wouldn't have been happy.
We need
with
to
me.
hear the truth sometimes. But again, if you joined us yesterday, thank you so much. We'll let you know when the next one is. William, I think you had something on ECG.
Top official.
Yes,
5.
because yesterday I was listening
11 of
to Dennis Miracles Abuaji, and he was speaking on a different platform. In
Right.
fact, he was also here speaking with Johnny yesterday. But he said that this issue of increment of tariffs and the inefficiencies in the sector should not be blamed on government. That was his assertion, and that there is. It's a whole different ball game when you look at these institutions, especially ECG. He says the staff will sometimes go on demonstrations if you put your foot down, if leadership tries to take control. So if government has lost the reins and ECG itself cannot take over, where do we go? What do we do?
So let's sink our teeth into that story and see what the Daily Guide is reporting this morning.
Sure.
The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, has sacked 11 top executives for allegedly causing financial loss to the company. These top executives included Treasury executives, senior IT assistant accounting officer, artisans, and customer service officers, among other senior staff. Reliable source in the ECG who demanded anonymity said the affected top executives indulged in various illegal activities that adversely affected the coffers of the ECG. The Daily Guide checks revealed that the ECG management gave the 11 sacked staff ample time to defend themselves, but they failed, hence the sack. So they were involved in things that affected the coffers of ECG. Falsification of records, tampering of payment data, unauthorized payment, transfers, and others. These are the things that they did.
I see. Well, now we know that we have 11 vacancies in the ECG. So for those of you
You don't
who
have
want to-
11 vacancies. They might have been filled already.
They might have been filled, but look sharp. Now you've heard it here. We've been asking. So
It
do
isn't always that people wear it that they've been filled. They just
maybe
go around the
a
world.
promotion in 10.
but the point is that the positions may have been filled
Don't
already.
No, but
you
at least.
But you see, well, I mean, we hear these things every time. Recently, some immigration officers also had their share of such an action.
Right.
But then the point is that, but before you know it, somebody told me yesterday. In fact, if you check the comments on the spaces yesterday,
Yes.
somebody says you don't hear of the recruitment. The next thing you see, they are passing out.
So if you're looking for a job at DCG, just cut.
Look fast,
Just
okay.
cut. Do a press
go and
cutting
show
of
it to them. Like, this is
Attach it to your-
this is evidence.
Attach it to your
Evidence. But the point is that these are top executives who have been sacked. You need to come to that table with a certain wealth of experience.
Of
If you
course.
don't have them,
Or maybe maybe others on the lower level will be pushed down.
Yes,
So those
yes.
two vacancy down there.
down there, yeah. But then again, I would disagree with Dennis Miracles Abuaji, my good friend. On the increment of tariffs and all of that.
That's right.
Because we all know that the present frequent increment in tariffs is as a result of the IMF, deal. It's a
But I've had government officials
it's a
not
agree that
that's
conditionality.
the reason.
I mean, it's a conditionality. The documents are there. Read the documents. The documents are there. It's a conditionality because IMF didn't give you the money as for that Christmas.
Right.
IMF is giving you the money so you can pay back. The only thing is that you're a member of the IMF, so you might not pay as much as others would have paid in terms of interest and all of that. But you're going to pay anyway. Now, the IMF wants to know how you are going to raise the money to pay. And one of the reasons that you agree to, or one of the avenues that you agree to, is that you're going to have your water and electricity go up. A lot more taxes are going to be introduced, which has been done. I'm sure that a few more will be pushed in there, because they want to see their money. They want to know how you're using their money, first of all, and they want to get their money back. So if anybody says there's a different kettle of fish and the previous administration tariffs were going up, lights were still off and all of that, it's neither here nor there. The question I always ask is, at the time when this government got in, did they inherit Dumsor or did they not? If they did, that's a different ball game. If they did not inherit Dumsor and now the lights are going off in spite of the fact that we're paying even more than what we paid in the past, we should be asking questions. This whole thing of trying to equalize each time it comes up. And I've seen my good friend Richard Ahagba do the same. You ask them a question, why this is that, and they say, oh, so what does the NDC have to say about it?
Which I find quite curious, because the MPP came to correct those things.
Yes.
You came to
You
bring
told us
change.
that the things were wrong. Everything was going wrong. You had wand, you were preaching change, things were going to change. So if I ask, for example, which analogy do I use? If I ask, example, why the unemployment rate is going up, which was also a matter that was discussed on the Spaces yesterday.
That's right.
Why unemployment rate is ballooning and going up. So what does the NDC have to say about it? You should be telling me what you are doing to bring it down, not what the NDC has to say about it. If it's just about NDC, MPP, politics, then why are you in leadership? We're tired of this duopoly and this equalization game every now and then. We're tired.
Absolutely.
The youth are tired. And it's one of the things that, that it wasn't Raymond or one of the gentlemen. He said that, look, when some of us speak up, the youth who have been conditioned for some reason to think along party lines tend to think that we are the problem.
That's
we,
right.
those who are speaking on their behalf, are the problem. Whereas we are the ones speaking so that they will be liberated. They see us rather as the problem. And that's quite disheartening. And that's why a lot of people don't speak up. A lot of people don't speak up because they are afraid that one day will be put into political party clothing. I've been put into it so many times. And
different colors.
And I've dared them. I said, look, show me my branch. Give me my ID card and tell me which positions I've been earmarked for. And when you put them to street proof, they say, oh, yeah, NDC. Then I asked somebody the other time, is the NDC a criminal organization?
Is it a crime
Yes,
to be
is it
a part
of the
any
NDC?
party?
I
think that's something that when it comes up, we should also address. It's not a crime at all to
when
belong
the
to a
NDC is
party.
in power,
in fact, it's a good thing.
When the NDC is in power, and I was put in, I asked the same question. I was put in MPP clothing. I asked the same question. Is the MPP a criminal organization? They said no. I said, so what's the point? I'm not breaking any law.
Not at all.
So the point is being truthful, being balanced, objective, and all the tenets of journalism. That's what we promote on this show.
Of course.
And anytime you do it, people are at liberty to throw some colors at you. I mean, there are some things we don't even say.
That's right.
Because it's not even a crime to say you belong to party A or party B.
Not at all.
Even big countries that have big democracies, a whole media house will align with one political party.
Yes.
CNN, we know where they belong. We know
That's
where
right.
Fox belongs.
Exactly.
And it doesn't change their
In
agenda.
the UK, same. You'll have Sky.
Exactly.
You'll
So
have.
we need to get mature and then rather look at how we can all keep officialdom in check.
Absolutely.
You see, when you ask a question, and I've said yesterday, I said it. You ask a question, the question is not answered, or the question is not challenged, but people rather go for who is asking the question. It becomes a problem. You are attacking the personality and the integrity of the person asking the question. That goes to the heart of the question. That once you're able to defeat the personality and integrity of the person, you actually have rubbished the question.
It's diversionary tactics.
Yes, but the
best.
question that the person is asking is, why are our street lights and traffic lights not functioning? It's not about Johnny Hughes. Why are you talking about street light and traffic
Right.
lights? Why can't you go and install street lights and traffic? Is it my father's job so to do, which he died and left it for me as in his will, to go and fix street lights and traffic lights?
And we pay a percentage every time we pay our electric bills for street lights.
What it is that we're driving on that road.
I'm saying that.
Street lights are not there. Traffic lights are not functioning. This morning,
That's right.
we saw a lot of non-functional traffic
This is
lights,
facts.
and it's going to cause a lot of accidents. It's going to mess people up. It's going to, So when you talk about it and you attack an individual, William, Helen, Johnny, does it install the street lights there? It doesn't fix the street lights.
So as we do our job, I have always said to myself that when it comes to politics, there's a different definition of logic. So
Lazato strikes again.
and so I don't get bothered when I hear those things. When it comes to politics, your logic, your definition of logic ends the same. You know what I'm saying?
Lazato.
On
that note, we'll make way for Johnny to get biting. It is some 45 minutes past the hour of 6. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Johnny's Bites comes up next. But do stick with us all throughout this morning's program. We're on up until 10 a.m. A lot for you and I to sink our teeth into this morning. Let's break down the most pertinent issues of the day.